Good evening, everybody. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഈ ശബ്ദം കേൾക്കാമോ? ഗുഡ് ഈവനിങ് ഡോക്ടർ. ഓക്കെ, നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഇന്നത്തെ സെഷൻ ആരംഭിക്കാം. ആദ്യം നമുക്ക് പ്രാർത്ഥനയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി നമ്മുടെ തലകളെ വണക്കം. പ്രാർത്ഥനയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം ഈ സെഷൻ ആരംഭിക്കുന്നതാണ്. കാരുണ്യവാനായ ഞങ്ങളുടെ സ്വർഗീയ പിതാവേ, ദൈവമായ കർത്താവേ, പരിശുദ്ധമായ കർത്തൃ ദിവസത്തിന്റെ ഈ സന്ധ്യാസമയത്ത് വിവിധ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിലായിരുന്നു കൊണ്ട് ബലഹീനരായ ഞങ്ങൾ നിന്റെ സന്നിധിയിൽ ഒരുമിച്ച് ആയിരിക്കുന്നുവല്ലോ. ദൈവമേ, COVID-19 എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഈ മഹാമാരി ദൈവമേ ഇന്ന് അതിശക്തമായി ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഇടയിൽ വളരെയേറെ ഭീതി ജനിപ്പിക്കുന്ന തരത്തിൽ ദൈവമേ ഞങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് ഉറ്റവരെയും ഉടയവരെയും സഹോദരങ്ങളെയും ബന്ധുമിത്രാദികളെയും ചാർച്ചക്കാരെയും ഒക്കെ ഈ രോഗത്താൽ ബാധിച്ച് തമ്പുരാനെ പലരും രോഗികളായിട്ടും രോഗത്തിൻ്റെ അവസ്ഥയിലും മരണം മുഖാന്തരവും ഒക്കെ വേർപെട്ട് ഈ ലോകത്ത് നിന്ന് മാറ്റപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്ന ഈ സാഹചര്യത്തിൽ ദൈവമേ പലതരത്തിലുള്ള ചിന്തകളും പലതരത്തിലുള്ള പഠനങ്ങളും പലതരത്തിലുള്ള അറിവുകളുമൊക്കെ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് ലഭ്യമാകുന്നുവെങ്കിലും ദൈവമേ ഇന്ന് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഈ കൂട്ടായ്മയിലൂടെ ഞങ്ങൾ പങ്കുവെക്കുന്നത് ദൈവമേ പ്രിയ ഡോക്ടറിലൂടെ നീ സംസാരിപ്പാൻ തക്കവണ്ണമുള്ള എല്ലാ ദൈവിക കൃപകളും അവിടുന്ന് നൽകണമേ. നിന്റെ ജനത്തിനു വേണ്ടി നൽകുവാനുള്ള നല്ല ചിന്തകളാൽ ദൈവമേ പ്രിയ ഡോക്ടറിനെ നീ അവിടുന്ന് ബലപ്പെടുത്തണമേ. എല്ലാ ദൈവകൃപകളാലും നിറയ്ക്കണമേ. ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും ഏറ്റവും അനുഗ്രഹമായി തീരുവാൻ അവിടുന്ന് സഹായിക്കണമേ. ഇത് മുഖാന്തരം ഞങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള എല്ലാ ആകുലതകളും മാറുവാനും ദൈവമേ ധൈര്യത്തോടും പ്രത്യാശയോടും കൂടെ ആയിരിക്കാനും ഞങ്ങളെ അവിടുന്ന് സഹായിക്കണമേ. നിന്റെ കൃപ ഞങ്ങളോടൊപ്പം ഉണ്ടാകണമേ. ഞങ്ങളുടെ രോഗികളെ സൗഖ്യപ്പെടുത്തണമേ. ഞങ്ങളുടെ വൈദ്യമേഖലകളിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നവരെ അനുഗ്രഹിക്കണമേ. അവരെ നീ സംരക്ഷിച്ച് പരിപാലിച്ചു കൊള്ളണമേ. ഞങ്ങളോട് പ്രാർത്ഥന ആവശ്യപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവരെയും ഓർക്കുന്നു. ദൈവമേ നിന്റെ നാമം മാത്രം മഹത്വപ്പെടുവാനിടയാകണമേ. ഞങ്ങൾ നിനക്കും നിന്റെ പിതാവിനും നിന്റെ പരിശുദ്ധ റൂഹായിക്കും എന്നാലും സ്തുതിയും സ്തോത്രവും കരയറ്റുവാനായിട്ട് തന്നെ. ആമേൻ. കർത്താവിൽ പ്രിയമുള്ളവരെ, വളരെ സന്തോഷത്തോടു കൂടെയാണ് ഞാൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ മുമ്പാകെ ആയിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇടവകയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ ഇപ്രകാരം ഒരു ഹെൽത്ത് സിമ്പോസിയം ക്രമീകരിക്കാൻ തക്കവണ്ണം ആഗ്രഹിച്ചപ്പോൾ അതിന് ഏറ്റവും അനുയോജ്യമായ ഒരു റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സണെ കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക എന്നുള്ളത് അത്യാവശ്യമായിരുന്നു. ആ തരത്തിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇന്ന് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡോക്ടർ സോഫി സൂസൻ സൈമൺ ലഭ്യമായിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഡോക്ടർ ഇന്ന് നമ്മളോടൊപ്പം ആയിരിക്കുന്നു. ഒരു വാക്ക് ആമുഖമായിട്ട് ഓർമ്മിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ സ്വാഗത ചടങ്ങിലേക്ക് കടന്നു വരാം. COVID-19 എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പേര്, അതില് ഈ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ആൽഫബറ്റിലെ C എന്ന് പറയുന്ന വേർഡാണല്ലോ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഇന്ന് എല്ലാവരുടെയും ഇടയിൽ ഈ വാക്കുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട ആദ്യ വാക്കുകൾ വളരെയേറെ ഷൂട്ടപ്പ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിലാണ് ജീവിക്കുന്നത്, ഇല്ലേ? COVID-19 വന്നപ്പോൾ സിയില് കഫ് ഉണ്ട്, കോൾഡ് ഉണ്ട്, കൊറോണ വൈറസ് ആയി, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അത് കേസായി, ആ കേസ് കൺഫേംഡ് ആയി, പിന്നെ കണ്ടാമിനേഷനായി, കണ്ടെയ്ൻമെന്റ് സോണായി, ഇപ്പം ജനതാ കർഫ്യൂമായി. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ സിക്ക് വളരെയേറെ പ്രാധാന്യം നൽകിക്കൊണ്ട് ഇരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ദൈവം നമ്മളോട് പറയുന്ന, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇതൊക്കെ കണ്ടുകൊണ്ട് ചിരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ദൈവം പറയുന്ന 6 സിയും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട് ഇതിനെ പ്രതിരോധിക്കാൻ. ഒന്നാമത് ക്ലീൻലിനെസ് ഈസ് ദ റെമഡി. രണ്ടാമത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കറേജ് ഈസ് ദ നീഡ് ഓഫ് അവർ. മൂന്നാമത്തത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കണ്ടൻഷൻ ടു ഓവർകം ദ ക്രൈസിസ്. നാലാമത്തത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ക്ലാരിറ്റി ഓഫ് തോട്ട്. അഞ്ചാമത്തത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കോപ്പറേഷൻ വിത്ത് ദ ഫെലോ ബീയിങ്സ്. ആറാമത്തത് കെയറിംഗ് ഫോർ ദ നീഡി. സോ ക്ലീൻലിനെസ്, കറേജ്, കംപ്ലൈൻസ്, കണ്ടൻഷൻ, to overcome the crisis, clarity of thought, cooperation with the fellow beings, and caring for the needy. അതുവഴി ക്യൂർ ഈസ് ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി ഗോയിങ് ടു കം. നമുക്കറിയാം, ഹെൽത്ത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ആരോഗ്യം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ഇറ്റ്സ് എ സ്റ്റേറ്റ് ഓഫ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ഹാർമണി ഓഫ് ബോഡി, സ്പിരിറ്റ് ആൻഡ് മൈൻഡ് എന്നുള്ളതാകുന്നുവല്ലോ. ഈ വിഷയത്തെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് വളരെ അഗാധമായിട്ട്, അതിനേക്കാൾ ഉപരി വളരെ ഒരു ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് സെഷനിൽ ഈ സെഷൻ കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യുവാൻ തക്കവണ്ണം നമുക്ക് ലഭ്യമായിരിക്കുന്നത് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡോക്ടർ സൂസൻ സൈമൺ ആണ്. ഡോക്ടർ ജബൽപൂർ നിവാസിയാണ്. ജബൽപൂർ സെന്റ് ആൻഡ്രൂസ് മാർത്തോമ ഇടവകയിൽ ജനിച്ച് വളർന്നു. നവംബർ മാസം 2020 മുതൽ ഡോക്ടർ സെന്റ് ജോർജ് ഓർത്തഡോക്സ് ചർച്ച് ജബൽപൂരിന്റെ ഇടവക അംഗമാണ്. അവിടെ നിന്ന് ഡോക്ടർ പൂന കടുക്കി സെന്റ് തോമസ് ഓർത്തഡോക്സ് ഇടവകയിലേക്ക് വിവാഹം കഴിച്ചു പോയി. ജിൻഡോ ജോർജ് ആണ് ഡോക്ടറിന്റെ ഹസ്ബൻഡ്. കാനഡയിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഡോക്ടർ ഇപ്പോൾ ഭോപ്പാലിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. തൃശൂർ മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് MBBS-ഉം അതുപോലെ തന്നെ മുംബൈ GS മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് MD-യിൽ പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേഷനും, ഗവൺമെന്റ് മെഡിക്കൽ കോളേജ് നാഗ്പൂരിൽ 1 വർഷം ലെക്ചറായിട്ടും ഒക്കെ പ്രവർത്തനം ഡോക്ടർ നടത്തി. വളരെയേറെ ദൈവാശ്രയ ബോധത്തോടുകൂടെ തൻ്റെ ദൗത്യം നിർവഹിച്ചു കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നു. വളരെ സന്തോഷത്തോടുകൂടെ, അതിലേറെ അഭിമാനത്തോടുകൂടെ ഐ ടേക്ക് ദിസ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റി ടു വെൽക്കം ഡോക്ടർ സോഫി സൈമൺ ടു ദിസ് മീറ്റിംഗ്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ വിവിധ ഇടവകകളിൽ നിന്ന്, അതുപോലെ ഈ ഇടവക അംഗങ്ങള് വിവിധ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അതായത് ഭാരതത്തിന്റെ തന്നെ വിവിധ സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ വിവിധ ആളുകൾ ഈ മീറ്റിംഗിൽ പങ്കെടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് ഇരിക്കുന്നു. നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരോടുമുള്ള ഒരു റിക്വസ്റ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ഒരു ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് സെഷനായിട്ട് തന്നെ ഡോക്ടറോട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കാനും മനസ്സിലാക്കുവാനുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു സെഷനായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കണം എന്നുള്ള കാര്യം ഓർമ്മിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. വളരെ സന്തോഷത്തോടുകൂടെ വിവിധ ഭാഗങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് പങ്കെടുക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവരെയും സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇടവകയുടെ ട്രസ്റ്റി സെക്രട്ടറി, മാനേജിംഗ് കമ്മിറ്റി അംഗങ്ങൾ, വിവിധ ആധ്യാത്മിക സംഘടനകളുടെ ചുമതലകൾ, അതുപോലെ ഇതിന് ടെക്നിക്കൽ സപ്പോർട്ട് നൽകുന്ന മിസ്റ്റർ ജൂബിൻ, എല്ലാവരെയും വളരെ സന്തോഷത്തോടുകൂടെ സ്വാഗതം ചെയ്യുന്നു. ഓവർ ടു ഡോക്ടർ സോഫി സൈമൺ. താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you, Achan, for your kind words. Please let me know if my voice is clear.
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Very good evening to everyone. Once again, thank you, Achan, for your kind words. I am Dr. Sophie, and I am currently working with the WHO, supervising the TB program in Bhopal and its surrounding 7 districts. So I was actually honored that Achan contacted me, and God is using me to address some of the general concerns that our parish members are facing. And I hope and pray that I'm able to play my part well. So as Achan said, that this is going to be an interactive session, and I really request you to please come up with any queries that I might have left out during my session. And my Malayalam is actually very funny, so I will continue in English, but please feel free in whichever language to communicate with me, and we'll work this through. So for the past so many months, I've been contacted by friends and family members and asked questions regarding COVID. So I have compiled all that information, and I'll try to finish that in some 30 to 35 minutes, after which we can have a question answer session from questions from you. And if it is within my capacity and within my expertise, I will definitely clear all your queries right there and then itself. But if it is something that I need to refer, I will refer and come back to you on that. So with that, let us start with the session. And so as I understand that our community in Jabalpur is very loving and caring and close-knit, and we are a very social group. We meet each other, we go to each other's houses, we invite people over for dinner and lunch. We enjoy our Sunday service. After the Sunday service also, we remain in church, we talk to all our members, and that's how we've been living for all this while. But now it seems like COVID has reached our doorstep. Every day we hear some of our friends getting COVID, or maybe worse, and we are scared for, say, our family members. I can see many elder people here in the as participants. So you are staying in Jabalpur alone while your children are somewhere else, and you are concerned about your children. Your children are concerned about you. So there's a whole lot of stress which we are facing continuously for the past so many months, and which has increased actually in the past 2 3 months. And there are so many things that we hear, so many negative news that we hear, and so many WhatsApp messages that we get. We don't know what is right, what is scientific, what is fake, and there's a whole lot of confusion regarding COVID in everybody, including you. And let us all just take a moment to calm ourselves down, and let us discuss the issues one by one. And if there's something else beyond these issues that you want me to talk about, then we can definitely take that later after this is over. So, since I'm a preventive medicine person, I will start with the aspect of prevention, and then we will move on to the symptoms of COVID, what to do if you are COVID positive, what is the treatment line, what are the complications that you can expect. So, like that, we'll just go on. So, first thing is about prevention. We all know prevention is better than cure, and we've been hearing how to keep ourselves safe and how to prevent COVID right from the very beginning. Now we are even very frustrated when we call somebody, because the first thing before even the call gets connected, you have a whole lot of message that is pre-recorded regarding COVID prevention. So, but it is very important for us to remember that there is just experimental drugs available for COVID. So it is better that if we take all the preventive steps possible from our end, rather than getting the disease and then worrying about it. So, what can we do to prevent, to keep ourselves safe, to prevent COVID? First and foremost, please stay calm, use your common sense, do not get carried away by many things that you read, do not get carried away by what many people tell you. Wear a mask if you are going out. How do you wear a mask? The mask should cover your nose and your mouth. Please do not put your mask below your nose. It will not help you in any way. Then avoid going to closed spaces, crowded spaces, because now they are saying that earlier they used to say that it is not airborne, COVID is not airborne. Now there are studies suggesting that COVID is airborne. So always avoid going into places which are very small and closed without proper ventilation. If you are going somewhere to the market to buy things and there's a queue, please maintain that queue. Please maintain proper social distancing. Wash your hands when you come back from anywhere outside with soap and water, at least for 40 seconds. Keep a sanitizer with you when you are going out, because this is India. We do not get facilities, toilet facilities everywhere we go. So keep a sanitizer and use it when you cannot wash your hands. So these are some of the things that we can do to prevent COVID, to remain safe. There are some provisions that the government, there are some restrictions, some protocols that the government has put to keep us safe. Please try your best to abide by all those restrictions. Do not go out now during the lockdown time unless it is very important. Please avoid attending family functions or big gatherings. So keep yourself as much safe as possible. So let me tell you a little about mask hygiene. So mask hygiene is very, very important. If you are wearing the mask but you are touching it 10 times, you're touching here and there, and then removing the mask, scratching your nose, then there is no point wearing the mask. Please remember to wear a well-fit mask. It should not be too loose so that it comes down every time and you have to, you know, hold it and put it back on the bridge of your nose. It should not be too tight also. Otherwise, you'll get all marks on your ears and on your nose. So it should be a well-fit mask. Do not touch your mask again and again, especially the outer surface, because it is infectious. That is the exposed surface, so do not touch the surface of the mask. Change your mask after 8 hours. Do not wear a mask for more than 8 hours. And even before 8 hours, if the mask has become wet, you've maybe sneezed or coughed and it has become wet, please dispose the mask and use a fresh mask. Now, the next question comes as to which mask should we wear? Should we buy an N95 mask? Should we wear a cloth mask? So, as of now, if you are going out to the marketplace or to some other crowded place, please wear a triple layer medical or surgical mask, whatever you want to call it. It is not necessary for you to wear an N95 mask every time, but please wear at least a triple layer mask because it gives you all the protection that is needed. Nowadays, there's this concept of double mask. That means on top of this mask, a triple layer mask, you can also wear a cloth mask. That's a double layer mask. So, sorry, a double mask. So you can even do that, but at least try to wear a triple layer medical mask rather than cloth mask. Now, another question that we face is how to boost our immunity. Should we take multivitamins? Should we start vitamin D? Should we start zinc? So please remember that all these things, they improve your immunity, but they have not been proven to be a cure for COVID-19. Also, it is always better to go by natural sources. If you are eating well cooked, proper food, home cooked food, whether you are a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, but you are eating all the proper things that is required, then you need not take all the supplements. Let your body get all the supplements through natural sources. And also, more than along with nutrition, your sleep should be proper. You are at home confined inside the house for such a long time, you get frustrated, you want to go out, you can do some kind of stretching exercises maybe, or you can walk in the terrace, or if it is a if you have a house, a porch, you can go and walk in the porch. So try to do some kind of physical activity which will keep you little active, but please avoid going to parks where there are a lot of people, and please avoid wearing a mask and doing vigorous exercises because it is not good for your health. So whatever simple exercise that you can do, like considering COVID restrictions, please try to do that. Especially those who are working from home. If you're sitting at your computer for say 10 to 12 hours in a day, please make it a point that you get up from your chair after every 30 minutes at least, walk around the house, then go and sit and continue. So keep yourself mobile. Don't exert too much if you are doing anything. Please avoid gyms and all. I think that is closed during COVID. But still, if you are really a gym person and you cannot wait to go back to gym, please wait till the COVID pandemic settles down, because now it is said that it spreads through airborne transmission as well. And when you are exercising and you are in a closed space and there are too many people, there's a high chance of virus transmission. So just do whatever you can at home. And one more thing that can help you to boost your immunity is not to take stress. How to not take stress when there are so many things going around? First and foremost, please stop watching the news, especially COVID news, because all you hear is, okay, the number of cases today is so much, the number of deaths is so much, and it just increases your blood pressure. So just see positive news, positive messages. Do not get too worked up by all the WhatsApp forwards that you get. Please do not go to experiment all the WhatsApp forwards that you get. Yes, day before yesterday, I got a call from somebody asking me that they got a forwarded YouTube video showing them that if they put 2 drops of lemon in their nose for twice in the day, then they'll get protection against COVID. So all these things are, I don't know how scientific they are. We don't know who is starting all these things. So it is better not to get carried away by all the rumors that you hear and all the messages that you read, the YouTube videos that you see. Please use your common sense. Please consult a doctor or consult somebody, consult a healthcare professional, consult a nurse. and try to clear all your doubts rather than jumping onto conclusions and experimenting with your own health. Also, this is a time where you can use the social media to actually get in touch with people you have not spoken to in a very long time. Get in touch with your friends, call up your friends, maybe form a prayer group or some kind of a meeting online like we are doing right now, so that you are engaged, you do not feel alone, you feel loved and cared for, and you pass on that kind of a feeling to others as well. I feel very happy when somebody sends me a hello, how are you in a day. So I'm sure even you will feel happy if somebody just messages, hi, how are you? So just get in touch with people, keep your mental stress levels low, keep calm. Whatever it is, we are all together in this and we will all get through this phase. So try not to take too much stress. Also, if you are a kind of person who wants to read more about COVID, research on the net, sorry, you can go to credible sites like you can go to CDC, you can go to WHO site, or you can go to Ministry of Health and Family Welfare site, Indian site. So please go to authentic sites to read more about what is happening, what is new in COVID, and whether something, because there are some sections in these sites as well which are known as myth busters. So all your some of your queries, some of your doubts will get cleared if you go to all these authentic sites. There are so many frequently asked questions sections in these sites. Questions about vaccines, questions about COVID symptoms, questions about which test to do, whether CT is required or not. So all these questions, frequently asked questions, are also answered in all these authentic sites. So if you are a kind of person who likes to read and Google and search for more information, please go to all the authentic sites possible. Now coming to the big question about vaccination, whether you should get vaccinated, which vaccine is better, Covaxin or Covishield, or should we wait for the newer vaccines to come in India? So in my professional opinion as well, it is better to go ahead and get yourself vaccinated without further wait. Also, both the vaccines are the same. You take Covishield, you take Covaxin, it does not matter because both have shown good results. In the study, it is said that only 0.04% of people who had taken Covaxin and 0.03% of people who had taken Covishield, they got COVID after the second dose. So, what does this mean? That people who are taking vaccines, they are probably not getting the disease. Again, I want to impose this point very strongly that vaccination does not mean that you will not get COVID. You may get COVID, you may not get COVID, but if you get COVID, it will be a mild disease. You will not go into any kind of complications, and you will recover from COVID very soon. So that is why vaccination is better, because the benefits of vaccination is more than the risk that it poses. Also, there's this concept that if you've taken the first dose of vaccine, you are safe. Nothing like that. You have to take both the doses of vaccine. Full immunity develops only after 2 to 3 weeks of taking the second dose. So please don't be careless. If your second dose is due, please go and take it. Now, if you have taken the first dose and then in a few days you get COVID, please don't blame it on the vaccine, because the vaccine is unlikely to cause COVID. You might have gotten COVID from somebody else who maybe attended the vaccination session because of COVID inappropriate behaviors that are seen in the vaccination sites. It is also seen that if you feel that there is a chance that you have COVID, please do not go and take the vaccine because it will not work. If you are COVID positive, there is no point of taking the vaccine. It does not work. So please wait till you recover and then you can go and take the vaccine. Now, both the vaccines, Covaxin and Covishield, they have to be taken in 2 doses. For Covishield, the 2 doses should be 6 to 8 weeks apart. And for Covaxin, it should be 4 to 6 weeks apart. Now, for those people who have developed COVID after taking the first dose and you are confused as to when to take the second dose, then please remember that it is safe to take the second dose minimum 1.5 months, that is 6 weeks after your full recovery. So if 45 days have passed after you've recovered, then you can very well go ahead and take the second dose of the vaccine that was remaining. Also, even if you have taken both the doses of the vaccine, it does not mean that you will not get COVID. So please continue all the COVID appropriate behavior. Wear a mask, do not go to crowded places, maintain social distancing. So all the COVID appropriate behaviors need to be continued even after you've taken the vaccination. Another question that poses is, what are the side effects of the vaccine? Whether I'll get clots after the vaccine. So with each and every vaccination, there is some kind of adverse event that may happen. I'm strongly using the word may is because in many people, nothing happens. So you don't have to be scared of the side effects. The side effects are mild in the form of mild fever, say body ache, muscle pain. So all this will go also in 1 or 2 days. So you don't have to worry about it. You can take a simple paracetamol if it is too much to bear. And talking about clots, so it has been, studies have shown that for Covishield, in young females, say around 30, 35 years old, they might develop clots like later, say 2 to 3 weeks after taking Covishield. But that is also a very rare phenomenon. So please don't worry about rare things. Let us go with the more common things. Let us believe that the vaccine that we are going to take is going to work miracles in our body. And with that faith, please go and get yourself vaccinated as soon as possible. Side effects are there, but it need not happen to everybody. So please don't worry about that. It is as simple as you know that if you are driving, there might come a time where you meet with an accident. But that does not mean that you will stop driving. You will stop going on the roads thinking that if you go, you will meet with an accident. So when you are ready to take a risk there, why not take a risk with this vaccine as well, which is proven to be beneficial to everybody. So please get yourself vaccinated, especially those who have diabetes, hypertension. It is good if you get vaccinated because it decreases the chances of complications. Now, those who are scared that they have a heart disease or they have a bleeding disorder and vaccination may cause clotting later on, please consult your doctor. There are tests that you can do, and if those tests are normal, then you can go ahead and take the vaccine. So I think that's pretty much about vaccination. Then moving on to another frequently asked question is whether we should allow our maids to come to our house. So we are in this era when we are heavily dependent on our bai, who comes to clean or whatever, who comes to cook, but we are very dependent on them. And it gets very difficult if we have to do things on our own for a very long time, especially for the elderly who are living alone. So please remember, you can call the maid at home, but you have to teach her COVID appropriate behavior. You have to tell her to wear a mask. You have to you have to teach her how to wash hands. You have to teach her the importance of taking the time to wash hands properly with soap and water. You can avoid being in the same room as she is in. If she is cooking in the kitchen, you need not be in the kitchen, be somewhere else. If she's sweeping in your room, you can go to another room. So avoid being in close contact with your maid. Also, give her knowledge about what is COVID and what are the symptoms, and tell her if she feels that way to stay at home and not to come to your house. So these are some things, some precautions that we can take from our end if we really want the maid to come to our house. So this was pretty much about prevention of COVID-19. Also, if you want to take some home remedies, there are some speculations about steam inhalation. It kills the virus. Then, say some people say if you drink turmeric and milk, it will help. So again, these are things that are not proven. You were taking steam inhalation even before COVID started. When we have sinusitis, when we have common cold, we take steam inhalation because it helps us release the block. It makes us comfortable. So if this is something in your routine, you can go ahead with it. But please be careful not to overdo things, not to uh, be so conscious that you are taking steam inhalation 10-15 times in a day. It will not help you in any way. So please be moderate about all the things that you do. And if you feel that drinking turmeric and milk kind of soothes your throat and you feel comfortable, then you can go ahead and do it. But what I'm saying is we have very limited research on COVID right now. So everything is experimental. Please don't think that if you do steam inhalation, you will not get COVID. It's nothing like that. Okay. So whatever makes you comfortable, whatever does not harm your health, you can go ahead with that. Now, talking about the symptoms of COVID and what to do when if you are tested positive. So the symptoms of COVID vary a lot. It can be as simple as a fever to cough, breathlessness. Yesterday, my friend called up saying that her husband is coughing blood. So there are different ways in which COVID presents in different people. You might not get all the symptoms. You might not even get a single symptom. You might be as healthy looking as possible with no symptoms at all. So do not panic if you get a common cold. So you must remember that only 20% of the patients require hospitalization, and only 3 to 5% of those patients will require critical care. So majority of the patients, that is 80% of the patients, they are fine, they can be treated at home and they recover without any complications. So with that positive thing in mind, if you have, say you develop a sore throat, like now I'm facing sore throat and my nose is blocked, please do not panic. Isolate. If you are really very scared for yourself or for your parents or for elderlies in your house, isolate yourself. Wait for 1 or 2 days. If it is not recovering, get an RT-PCR test done, and then let's wait for the report. And according to the report, consult a doctor and get antibiotics or whatever. If it is COVID, then the doctor will prescribe you for COVID. You must remember, for you to get COVID, you must be exposed to somebody who has COVID. Now, if you are in the house, you are not going out anywhere, and if you have a fever, it need not be COVID, because you have not gone out anywhere, you have not been exposed in any way. So please do not panic if you get a mild fever thinking that it is COVID only. For COVID, you need to be in contact with another COVID positive patient, which can happen if you are traveling, which can happen if, say, somebody you met the other day turned out to be COVID positive. So in that way, it can happen. But if you had no exposure whatsoever, please don't panic. It might be a simple viral fever. Now, if you've had exposure to a patient who was COVID positive, and now you are scared that you are COVID positive, there is no point immediately going and doing a test when you don't have symptoms. You can, if you are really scared, you can get yourself tested after 4 or 5 days of exposure. And till then, you can keep yourself isolated. Now, if you have symptoms and say you also have a history of exposure, like you know that the person you met 3 or 4 days back has been tested positive, and now you have also developed symptoms, get yourself tested, and please do not self-medicate. Do not start any medication depending on the say any article that you've read or something that you've googled. If you are COVID positive, consult a doctor and the doctor will start you on the appropriate protocol. Now, the protocol also varies from state to state. I have friends in Kerala who say, don't do anything, just sit at home, it will go on its own. In Maharashtra, they're following some other pattern. In MP, they're following some other pattern. So please do not self-medicate. If you think that if your test is positive, then go and get a consultation. If an online consultation is possible, get an online consultation. And depending on what the doctor says, do whatever the doctor says. Do not go rush for a CT scan. A CT scan is not required for all patients. If it is required, your doctor will tell you. If you have breathlessness and too much of chest symptoms, then yes, it is required. He will tell you, and then you can go and get a CT scan. Please remember not to do CT scans repeatedly. There are times when during the initial period of your COVID, your CT scan will be normal. There will be no symptoms. There will be no changes. But after 3 or 4 days, you will start developing cough, and then you get scared. You go and do a CT scan again. The CT scan shows a score of say 4 or 5, whatever. See, that will not change the course of your treatment. On the other hand, if you go and do a CT scan again and again, you are exposing your body to harmful radiations. So please don't run around for CT scans. If it is required, your doctor will tell you. Only when if it is required, please go ahead with it. Secondly, don't start, hoarding medicines, remdesivir, steroid, Fabiflu, oxygen cylinders. These are some things that people are actually hoarding in their houses, thinking that if at all they need it anytime, maybe in the future, they should not, run around from here to there. Please do not stock any kind of medication. If possible, buy a pulse oximeter and keep in your home so that if at all you become positive, you can monitor yourself at home only. Okay, so now if somebody is tested positive, you've consulted a doctor, he started your medication, please remember to isolate yourself properly, wear a mask, a triple layer mask. Whoever is taking care of you should also wear a mask. Please remember to keep a separate plate, spoon, and glass for yourself. These things can be washed and reused for you. Also, whoever is cleaning your utensils, please tell that person to wear gloves. Then, if you have a house where you share a common toilet, don't worry that you are going to spread the disease to your other family members. If you can sanitize the knob of the door of the bathroom or the flush of the bathroom, please do that. Please do not panic and increase your stress levels. That is only going to cause you harm. If you have symptoms like mild symptoms like sore throat and clogged nose, you can do steam inhalation, you can do saline gargles, and also continue taking the medicines that the doctor has prescribed. You also have to monitor your SpO2, pulse, and your temperature every 4 hourly. Now, why it is said is because if your SpO2 decreases to less than 94%, then you may require hospitalization. So keep checking your SpO2. You do not have to check it every half an hour. You make it a point that at least every 4 hours, you check your SpO2. Now, you are at home, everything is under control. Please do not panic. The COVID episode will also go on its own. But if you develop breathlessness, there is continuous chest pain or heaviness in the chest, please consult your doctor and you might require hospitalization then. Now, if you are at home, when do you have to stop home isolation? So this is again a very debated subject. From the very beginning, the guidelines have been changing every month, every week. So according to the latest guidelines released on 28th of April, 10 days after your onset of symptoms, if you are fine, you've not had fever for 3 days, then you can stop your home isolation. Also remember that you do not need to take an RT-PCR test after the end of your isolation period. If at all you have to do a test, like if you have to travel or if you have to join back work and they are expecting an RT-PCR negative report, and you do a test and the RT-PCR comes to be positive, please don't worry. It does not mean that you still have COVID. It means that you have some viral particles, dead virus particles, that is causing the RT-PCR to become positive even after so many days. And in RT-PCR actually remains positive in some patients for several weeks, so you don't have to worry about it. After 10 days, it's highly unlikely that you are still infectious. But if there are patients who have been hospitalized, their viral load is little more than those who have had mild disease. So in those patients, you might be infectious as long as for 20 days. So if you've been hospitalized, it is better to remain isolated for 20 days, after which again you can stop your isolation. Also, if you are diabetic, hypertensive, asthmatic, please continue your regular medication. Don't stop your medication during COVID. And please don't worry, especially I've heard people asking me that my mother has asthma. So, should we worry about something? Don't worry unless it is time to worry about. So, even if you have asthma, you have hypertension, you have diabetes, you can cross the COVID period without any complication. Complications are rare in the form of stroke, in the form of heart attack. So, in that case, please consult your doctor and he or she may start you on aspirin, and or he or she may ask you to continue aspirin for say 2 months or so. All that needs to be done under supervision of a doctor. Please don't self-medicate. Please don't go by Google and end up in some trouble. Also, if you are scared that this time the wave is affecting children, then studies have shown that children, even if they are getting infected, complications in children is very, very rare. Very few of them require hospitalization. Most of them can be treated at home with simple paracetamol and cough syrups. So please don't worry about children. Okay. So I think I have covered most of the things that I had prepared, and I would just like to summarize the take-home message. Uh, Please keep your immunity high by taking nutritious diet, good sleep. Do not stress out for simple things. Do not uh, panic. Even if you are COVID positive, do not panic. It will pass. I know it is difficult because I had COVID last month and it was very difficult. It was difficult to keep calm. But please remember, being Christians, we have this power of prayer in our hands. So try maximum to keep calm. Do not self-medicate. Consult a doctor. For queries also, consult a doctor. Please do not self-medicate. Please do not go and do tests and CT scans and repeated RT-PCR. It is not going to do any good to you. So please do not indulge in over-obsessive things like this. And please stay in touch with your family and friends, and uh, because that will help you boost your your confidence levels, and you feel loved, you feel cared, and so there's less chance of you to go into stress and depression. So I think that is all from my end. Actually, if there's something else that needs to be addressed, please let me know.
Thank you, Doctor. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ദ ടൈം ഓഫ് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ അവർ. എന്തെങ്കിലും തരത്തിലുള്ള ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡൗട്ട് ക്ലാരിഫിക്കേഷന് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള സമയമാകുന്നു. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഏതെങ്കിലും ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ ഡോക്ടറോട് ചോദിക്കാനായിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, അത് മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ മലയാളത്തിലല്ല, ഹിന്ദി ഓർ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്, any language you can ask the questions and you can clarify your queries. So now the platform is open.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sophie, for the wonderful session. I really enjoyed it. And in fact, I had penned down lots of questions as queries to be asked. And fortunately, you have dealt up with most of the questions. So thank you so much. But still,
That's
one
good to know.
question.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, one question is there, a very simple one.
Yes,
As to
yes,
if you're in home isolation, and suppose if you're having fever, so is it
yes.
safe for us to have a bath, or we need to take some time, few days, maybe 2 or 3 days? Because if you're having fever, so is it safe to have a bath?
Yes, absolutely. It is safe to take a bath. Like Achay pointed out, C for cleanliness. It is very, very important. So there are some things called as grandma tales, and we don't know if there's a scientific explanation to it. We say if we take a bath and go out in the cold, we'll catch a cold. So these things are just, it happens by chance. There's no scientific proof for all these things. If you are sick, you can go ahead, take a bath. There's not an issue at all. Especially during summers, you can take a bath twice a day actually. It's so
Yeah,
hot.
but maybe because of some myths, generally people don't take
Yes.
bath.
Yes, it is
So,
not necessary. Yeah, you can go ahead with your daily routine as it is.
okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. And when while we are still at that, when you are COVID positive, please try to take maximum rest because so in viral infections, the body becomes really very weak. Any kind of viral infection need not be COVID alone. So your body requires enough rest and sleep for it to recover on its own. So if you are COVID positive, please take rest. I'm sure you have family and friends who will provide you with food and anything important that needs to be done. Please take adequate rest if you are positive.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
इसका वॉल्यूम तो करो यार लड़का वॉल्यूम कहाँ से आता है
ഓക്കെ, ഇനിയും എന്തെങ്കിലും ചോദ്യങ്ങൾ?
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening.
Yeah, nice to have your message, which has been passed to us. Thank you for the messages what you have passed. I have one query that
Yes, please.
I have been vaccinated by the first dose with Covishield.
Okay.
It was been I have been vaccinated in the month of March 25th.
Okay.
And as per the norms, it is like after 28 days, it should be from 28 days to 42 days. I think it has, the second dose has to be happened.
Okay.
So as per the calculation, till date, I have been not been vaccinated, and 42 days will be like on the 6th of May. It is coming. So my query is that
Okay.
now in Jabalpur, the Covishield is not, what I came to know is that Covishield is not present. So if I cross that 42
Okay.
days, is it a problem or anything like consequence will be there or not? That I want to know.
Okay, so this is a very good question. I'll try to explain it in as simple terms as possible. So, sir, first of all, for Covishield, earlier it was that the second dose has to be taken within 28 days, but now they have increased the time duration to 6 to 8 weeks. So first of all, that has changed. And secondly, if you've taken Covishield or if you've taken Covaxin, your second dose should be the same. You cannot cross. If you've taken Covishield, your second dose should also be Covishield. If you've taken Covaxin, your second dose should also be Covaxin. Now, coming to your actual query, if you surpass the time limit, will it cause any problem?
Yeah.
So the thing is, there are some studies which show that you can take the second dose up to 12 weeks of the first dose. So the basic principle behind giving 2 doses of vaccine is when you give the first dose, it creates some kind of a response in your body, immune response in your body, and then the immune response comes down. That is when you require the second dose of the vaccine so that the required immunity level can be reached.
Okay.
So that is why you need 2 doses of the vaccine. So there are some vaccines in which a single dose of the vaccine itself will give you the required immunity, which is not so in the case of Covishield. So you have to take the 2 doses, but if you are not, if the Covishield is not available right now, you can wait. You can wait up to 12 weeks also. It will not cause any harm. But again, I would like to tell you that these are all studies which are done on some case-to-case basis. So at the max, what can happen is the required immune response might not develop in your body. That is the max that will happen, which does not mean that you will not get any protection. You will get some kind of protection, but now if they are claiming 60% of protection, you might get say 40% or say 45%, but not that 60% because of some gaps in the duration. That's all. But still, I would suggest you go ahead with the vaccine because everybody's body responds in a different way. You might have developed some kind of good response in the first time itself. So you can wait up till 12 weeks. And even if after that you are not getting the vaccine, whenever you get the vaccine, please go and get the second dose.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, doctor.
One thing I would like to tell you that near Science College, Covishield is available.
Okay. Please note that down.
Okay. Thank you.
Or any questions?
Too much of steam inhalation, is it harmful? Because recently I heard one WhatsApp message that it leads to heart problem.
Again, a very apt question. So too much of anything is actually very harmful. So what steam inhalation does is it kind of reduces the inflammation in your nasal lining. It will decrease mucus secretion in your tract lining. So that is how you feel better when you have a cold or a cough. Because all these things are increased. Your body, your nasal tract is inflamed when you have a cough, when you have a cold. So when you do a when you do a steam inhalation, that inflammation comes down. So only when you have the disease and you take the treatment will it actually work. If you don't have any problem and you go on taking some medicine, then definitely it will cause some harm. With regards to steam inhalation and relation with heart disease, I am not very sure about that because again, it might be some isolated event, some case-to-case basis which they have published. So I am not very sure that it will cause any heart disease, but then too much of steam inhalation is also not good for your nasal tract.
How many times should we take steam inhalation?
So according to the new guidelines also, those who have COVID, even in the guidelines, it's mentioned that you can take steam inhalation 2 to 3 times in a day.
Thank you, Sophie.
Okay.
ഓക്കെ, ഇനിയും ചോദ്യങ്ങളൊന്നുമില്ല എന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. നല്ലൊരു റെസ്പോൺസ് ആയിരുന്നു. പ്രത്യേകം ഡോക്ടർക്കുള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നതിന് വേണ്ടി ഇടവകയുടെ സെക്രട്ടറി ശ്രീ AV ഫിലിപ്പിൻ ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു.
ത്രിയേക ദൈവത്തിന്റെ ധന്യതിരുനാമം മഹത്വപ്പെടുമാറാകട്ടെ. റെസ്പെക്റ്റഡ് അച്ഛൻ, ഇന്നത്തെ റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ റെസ്പെക്റ്റഡ് ഡോക്ടർ സോഫി സൂസൻ സൈമൺ, അതുപോലെ ഗൂഗിൾ മീറ്റിൽ കൂടി പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന നിങ്ങൾ ഏവരുമേ, നമ്മുടെ ഇടവകയുടെ കാവൽ പിതാവായ പരിശുദ്ധ ഗീവറീസ് സഹദായുടെ നാമത്തിൽ നമ്മുടെ പെരുന്നാളിനോടനുബന്ധിച്ച് നടത്തി വരുന്ന COVID-19 ലെറ്റ്സ് ടോക്ക് എന്ന തീമിനെ ആസ്പദമാക്കി ഹെൽത്ത് സിംബോസിയം ക്ലാസ് എടുത്ത ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡോക്ടർ സോഫി സൂസൻ സൈമൺ, മെഡിക്കൽ കൺസൾട്ടന്റ് WHO-യോടുള്ള ഇടവകയുടെ പ്രത്യേക നന്ദിയും സന്തോഷവും ഈ തരുണത്തിൽ ഞാൻ അറിയിച്ചു കൊള്ളട്ടെ. ഡോക്ടർ നമ്മുടെ ഇടവകയുടെ അംഗമാണ്. ഡോക്ടറിന്റെ ക്ലാസ് വളരെ അനുഗ്രഹപ്രദമായിരുന്നു. അതെല്ലാവർക്കും വളരെ പ്രയോജനപ്രദവുമായിരുന്നു. അത് നമ്മൾ ഫോളോ ചെയ്താൽ ഇന്നത്തെ ഈ പാൻഡമിക് സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ നിന്ന് നമുക്ക് രക്ഷ പ്രാപിക്കുവാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കും. അതുപോലെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഹെൽത്ത് സിമ്പോസിയം പ്രോഗ്രാം ഓർഗനൈസ് ചെയ്ത ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട നമ്മുടെ ഇടവകാരി അച്ഛനോടുള്ള പ്രത്യേക നന്ദിയും സന്തോഷവും ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ ഞാൻ അറിയിച്ചു കൊള്ളട്ടെ. അതുപോലെ പല ഭാഗത്തും ഇരുന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഇതിൽ പാർട്ടിസിപ്പേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത നിങ്ങൾ ഓരോരുത്തരോടുമുള്ള നന്ദിയും സന്തോഷവും ഇടവകയുടെ നാമത്തിൽ അറിയിച്ചു കൊള്ളട്ടെ. അതുപോലെ ഇന്നത്തെ പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് ടെക്നിക് സപ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്ത മിസ്റ്റർ ജുബിൻ വർഗീസിനോടുമുള്ള നന്ദിയും സന്തോഷവും അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് എന്നെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ച കർത്തവ്യത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഞാൻ വിരമിക്കുന്നു. തമ്പുരാൻ നമ്മെ എല്ലാവരെയും വാഴ്ത്തി അനുഗ്രഹിക്കുമാറാകട്ടെ.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Achan. Thank you for the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor, for a wonderful session. എല്ലാവരോടും പങ്കെടുത്ത എല്ലാവരോടുമുള്ള ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടിയുള്ള നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുന്നു. ദൈവം എല്ലാവരെയും അനുഗ്രഹിക്കട്ടെ.